If there's one thing I learned from every single go-home show that NXT delivers right before they deliver a 2-hour special event, they know how to hype it up. Hello all NXT fans and welcome to another wrestling review with me, Mike McRock, and I am your co-host for the MRB Wrestling Review Show, and right now I'm going to break it down for you fans out there in the NXT world, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and what I thought about this week's episode of NXT, and this was the go-home show before NXT TakeOver Respect. That's coming up next week. And with this show, I'm ready. I'm ready for next week. Do I really need to say any more? Well, let's get this underway. Let's break it down. What happened on this week's episode of NXT? Well, the show kicked off with Kyle Edwards, where he recapped the Tag Team Dusty Rhodes Tournament Classic, however you want to arrange those words. And we had the announcement that Jason Jordan and Chad Gable defeating Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder in the Tag Team Tournament Classic. And now they go on to face Baron Corbin and the War Machine Rhino, which is interesting because it's going to be interesting to see how the dynamics of that match, that semifinal match, play out because they're really both heel teams. And I feel like that you could go either way with that match. I'll get into my predictions after I do this review. And we also know that Dash and Dawson will face the winner of Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy and Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. So how was that first match? I thought it was okay. I just felt like it was almost like they skipped out on a good bit. It's like they edited some of the match out. So it kind of felt rushed at parts, but overall it got the point across. And going into that match, I was going through my head that Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy needed to win this match. They needed to win. I was kind of let down by having Finn Balor and Samoa Joe win because I feel like Enzo and Kaz, they're kind of hovering around the tag team division, and they needed a direction. They need somewhere to go, and having them win the tournament would have been beneficial for them to actually finally get a rub, but for some reason they didn't go there. I was kind of let down by that. And if NXT is going to have Samoa Joe and Finn Balor rise up and probably be in the final match, why not have them win the tournament? Probably to make more importance of maybe a future match between them, or you can have them lose in the final match to whoever what team, and which would cause a match between both of them for the NXT Championship. I think that's the direction that NXT might head into. Like I said, I will give you my predictions after I do this review. Also, we got Johnny Gargano versus Apollo Crews. Now, I thought this match was okay. It wasn't anything special or out of the ordinary. But, it is a momentum shift for Apollo Crews heading into his match against Tyler Breeze. And we also got Tyler Breeze versus Tommaso Ciampa in the final match. And what I like about these two matches is that we get to see both Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa work singles matches to showcase what they can do in the ring. And I thought they done a fine job. I thought that Tommaso Ciampa had a better match than Johnny Gargano. My only issue with the whole thing with Tyler Breeze and Apollo Crews is that I wanted to see a promo segment between the two of them, because usually in go-home shows, NXT should do more promoting and less wrestling. So to me, just having separate matches for both of them, for both Tyler Breeze and Apollo Crews, just comes across as really lazy. But, I wanted to see mic time for Apollo Crews and Tyler Breeze, which was really needed and more necessary than having them both in singles matches where they gain momentum. I just thought that was lazy on the part of NXT this week. However, I'm still looking really forward to the show. And we also have the announcement that Asuka will face Dana Brooke at NXT TakeOver. And I like what they're doing with Asuka. You know, they're doing different things with her character and to see where they're going to go with her. I feel like that with the tag team match Dana Brooke and Emma had, to me, that was just a momentum match for Dana Brooke to get ready, probably to end up losing to Asuka at TakeOver. So that's my first prediction right here. Asuka wins the match between her and Dana Brooke. And as far as Tyler Breeze and Apollo Crews go, I feel like that they're having Tyler Breeze job out to Apollo Crews, but I still think it's going to be a decent undercard match. I wish they could have done a little bit more building up to that, maybe do a promo segment. And also, we got the main final segment on the show. And it was a look at Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the NXT Women's Championship in a 30-minute Iron Woman match. You had Bayley saying that she will prove everyone wrong and prove Sasha wrong, and that she will beat Sasha Banks for the championship once again. They recapped what happened at the last TakeOver special events. They recapped the promo segment where Regal announced the Iron Woman match. And also showing Bayley and Sasha working on their cardio and their workout, which kind of remind me of shades of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart when they were going through their Iron Man match. A little bit of Lesnar and The Rock from SummerSlam 2002 as well. And to me, NXT has done a really good job in hyping up this match. This match in particular for the special event next weekend. I just have a feeling this match will definitely live up to the hype. So overall, I thought this show done a really good job in establishing and promoting the main matches that are happening on the TakeOver Respect show next week, like the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament Classic and the NXT Women's Championship match. Also, each segment has some purpose for happening because it is happening on the show next week, so nothing really felt out of place on the show and nothing felt really pointless. And even though there were a couple of things that weren't effective enough in execution, NXT this week done a really good blend of matches, video packages like the last segment on the show, and the video package of Asuka, and some backstage interviews as well. And this really generated a lot of excitement heading into TakeOver Respect next week. So that's my review for WWE NXT for the September 30th edition. And right now, I'm going to give you my predictions. Now, the first match I want to talk about is the match between Apollo Crews and Tyler Breeze. And like I said, I feel like that this is going to be a showcase for Apollo Crews, and Tyler Breeze is going to be kind of probably brushed under the rug once again and probably won't go over, which kind of makes me question why they would have had Tyler Breeze's opponent from last TakeOver win his match and we don't hear from him ever again. And I thought that was questionable, but I feel like that Apollo Crews is definitely going to win this match against Tyler Breeze. Also, Asuka is going to probably go over Dana Brooke in her match. And as far as the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament Classic, like I say, they can go in so many ways. They can go Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. They could have Baron Corbin and Rhino win this match, this entire tournament, which would make sense because Baron Corbin and Rhino are a dominant team and they'll go right through every other team to get to the top. And you can also make an argument for any other team, maybe Dash and Dawson. But I feel like the winner of this tournament, to me, should be Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, because I feel like they are starting to feel more like a team by the match, by the weeks go on. They are my pick to win it. However, I won't be surprised if they do go the route of Baron Corbin and Rhino, or even Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. I'm not sure about Dash and Dawson, but I'll see what happens. And as far as the main event for NXT, the 30-minute Iron Woman match between Bayley and Sasha Banks in the main event, I will say Bayley retains. However, I feel like there's going to be a certain woman that's going to debut on the show. Nia Jax makes a statement after Bayley wins the NXT Championship. That's my take on NXT TakeOver Respect. So my question to you, what did you think about the show this weekend? What are your predictions for NXT TakeOver Respect? Whatever they are, feel free to leave those comments right here in the comment section below. And you can also hit that subscribe button down below this video as well to become an MRBer on this wrestling review show.